Yo, it was good, was good. I did want to make a VOD earlier today, but I didn't. But then again, I still did, you know? But anyways, I do want to touch on some bases on this, I guess, attack. Um, with Ying, wait, before I say anything, bro, I kid you not, this TV is on two volume. Why is he so loud? But anyways, yeah, the Ying push. With Ying, I feel like people, not people, that was a weird way to start it off. I believe you should time it correctly. You can still get hatched, if you need to, but I would just say, like, for the most part, let someone like get the hatch for you. You know what I'm saying? So you can like place Ying charges and like you can like drop, you can execute the whole good stuff. But when it comes to Ying, I feel like with Ying, it's not really much so as like you would want to like flash and then like execute, which you should, but it's just kind of like you need to make the defense of players be like repositioned. I only say that because I have bands that I do want to use only because where am I going with this? Anyways, Warden, you're gonna so with whatever, bro. I'm brain foggled. I know I am. Just bear with me. Uh, Tubadao and Solus. I was debating which person should I ban. Come to the conclusion. What? Coming to the conclusion. Bro, coming to the conclusion. Okay. I decided to ban Tubadao. Why? Because with Tubadao, you can honestly, you have room to work with. Like, let's just say you have a fuse charge above you. A good scenario. There's a fuse charge above you and you use Tubadao. You can freeze that fuse charge, but it goes a long way. Now your teammates can move around freely. They can do what they need to do, reposition, even flank. They can even, go the extra mile, and then all of a sudden a C4 comes across the floor. Boom, you're dead. Because if you don't know, if you walk on the ice with Tubadao, your footprints could be seen. So like be mindful of that. And with Solus, all she can do is just see your gadget and throw an impact if needed. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? But then again, it goes a long way of like keeping it normal. And I mean keeping it normal. I just mean like you're gonna get shot back regardless. And that speaks for RAM. Like be careful where you put the RAM charges as well, because you would want to have a safe place. As I demonstrated in this video, you would want to have a safe place to sit. You don't like you shouldn't be like, why am I brain fogged? Like before I made this VOD, I was like, I know what I'm gonna say exactly, but you get you get the gist of the gist of it. But yeah, you need to have a safe place for you and your teammates, meaning one, to like sit up there, because C4s are gonna always, be thrown in that area, and then you also have getting shot back through the ram holes, which is just the little barrels above you, which under them, the defense. Bear with me, bro. Honestly, my brain is fogged right now, but point being is like that's normal. Like if you get shot through the floor, like while like RAM is going off or like after, that's normal. But we don't need C4s going and blowing because you made a horrible RAM play. You know what I'm saying? Because it goes a long way of like throwing the C4 and then knowing where to throw the C4. You know what I mean? So it's like just keep your distance when it comes to like making your RAMs. I would believe I was gonna touch base with like trying to like tell you like who should jump down after like the Ying charge, who should do that. But I feel like it should be like I wouldn't say like obvious or like it should be like, like again, like it should be obvious like who should do what, but you can't control everybody and how they feel, even how they play, But yeah, this is demonstrating you should have a safe place. Don't make too much of a ram rotate because you wouldn't have room or even the ability to go back and forth, At least you can look at two angles at once and then you can also go back and forth. You can go back and forth with the angles. So don't F your don't F yourself when it comes to making these rams. And then I have a little slate you can watch, honestly. Like, it's not a good play, but it's a play. Well, play. Bro, peak, bro. Where am I bringing that to, bro? Peak. It's a good enough peak, to peak. And, ban Warden. I already said that, but I'm saying it again. Ban Warden, ban Tubadao, and you need to ban Castle. Castle, because you're going to bring a certain operator. And with this certain operator, I'm going to explain very detailed. Yep, you guessed it, Aurora. You're going to bring Aurora. Why will you bring her? Let me tell you why. I feel like with her, she's not, like, Aurora, like, she's used, obviously, but, like, I feel like she's not used enough, only because, not because she's limited, it's because there's nothing you can do with her, which, I mean, most people seem like pros use her in a way, and then we see somewhat good stuff, or we see, like, bizarre, like, a crazy strat, like, once in a while. But the reason why I'm bringing her is because the blue rotation. When it comes to the blue rotation and going back into site, which is church area and blue, it doesn't like make any difference. Trust me, it makes no difference on like bringing her anyways. But what it does is it makes new entries and old exits. That might sound crazy to say, like, what does that mean? New entries basically just means like, the old entry, like, what was once an entry now is an exit. Now what's an exit is an entry, So they kind of switch roles once it comes to Aurora. And I believe you can honestly change that. And if people actually like learn her a bit more when it comes to like making room for your teammates to push in, plant, or even execute, it's her. So here I was demonstrating like post plant or having your teammates plant, and then how she would, be looked at, or how it would demonstrate if you did bring her. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it kind of like it kind of made me think. I was like, how can I not only make like the enemy not actually push something, but make them reroute themselves, It's like, okay, you can shoot the Aurora, you can break it, cool. But who's going to have a split second of time to do all of that, even though they have enemies in the vicinity, And then a player being a normal player, if you do want to shoot the Aurora, the little target, it's going to go back up, obviously. But the point I'm going with this is, like, it can always get shot back down. And then for defenders, it's slower. For attackers, it's faster. The last Aurora you can use to cover your backside, honestly. Not your backside, your walk up, honestly. Like, your flank, you'll say. If you want to actually contest and watch your teammate drop down bikes. So you as Aurora won't be dropping down bikes, but if you have an extra teammate, that teammate could drop down bikes. You can watch, if they're droning, whatever they're doing, you can watch them as they do what they gotta do. And then you as a player, you can, refrag or frag. This kind of just demonstrating, I was telling myself, well, telling you guys, don't put the door on that entrance, because once they use it, it honestly doesn't make a difference as if they didn't have a site set up. When I mean like the site set up, I just mean like it doesn't make a difference if you put the door there, because now it's just like a normal site to them, they can still use that against you, you know, even though you placed it down. So it would be pretty better if you just put it where I put it at. So if they do want to like flank up or even rotate from that opposite side of the map, which would be A side, you would, you know, you would have a better shot of killing them versus, you know, trying to, you know, not die. Again, bear with me. My talking is shit, and the video should honestly help. I hope it does, and it better do. Callie, you may think, what the fuck is Callie doing on this map, bro? One, Callie can counter Kaid. If they have Kaid, bring Callie. GG's. You have the hatch. Now, when it comes to plant and post-plant, especially plant, she can look from bikes all the way into blue, which any operator can do that with, you know, with an ACOG scope. But I'm only bringing Callie only because the Kaids, you know, and also when it comes to a guaranteed one-shot kill or a one-shot knock, you know, it's like, okay, cool, you can shoot somebody, knock them, great, Rook, Doc, you know, teammate, you know. But with Callie, it's gonna be a for sure knock, a for sure kill, either or, you know, like it's either they're dead or they're not, you know. So bringing Callie can be like a good use, honestly. And Callie being Callie, she has smokes, claymores, and breaches. If you want to like have an extra smoke, bring Callie. Extra claymores, bring Callie. You want to breach, bring Callie. But in this scenario, you don't want to bring breaches. I only brought breaches just to demonstrate like the defense, you know, the blue attack. But for Callie, I would say bring smoke. That's why I say ban Warden, because she would probably have smokes. Probably Ying. No, Ying should have the breach charges, the hard breach. You know, fucking Capitayo. Yes, I brought Capitayo, her, and then it's somebody else bringing smokes. Maybe Ram, but I normally run Ram my flashes. But if you do run smokes, you can. But yes, Callie, trust me, try it. But last but not least, Capitayo. Capitayo is an operator that I personally normally don't use, not only because he's bad or personal preference, I just never knew how to actually use him. But I have tried to like make scenarios where that I can use him, and I try to make things a bit easier for my teammates using him. But then again, I don't really know how to use him, so I just try to stay away from him as possible. So yeah, try my best. Capitayo is not even an operator that you can honestly forget about, because he has 2-in-1 smokes and fire. And then if he doesn't have that, he has the Gun 6. The Gun 6 goes along. I feel like the Gun 6 kind of does push it a little bit, only because if he needs to do a solo push, even like on a soft hatch, he can break that hatch, smoke it, fire it, drop. Simple. He needs no help, you know? So when it comes to him, I do enjoy Capitayo, but then again, I never used him, never touched him. I never really got the idea how to use him, in my opinion. But yeah, Capitayo. Like I said from the get go, I'm sorry. Like my brain is brain fog right now, because I'm literally thinking about more stuff as I make this video, as I speak. You know, so it's like my brain is not really working like it's intended to be, but it should, even if it wouldn't. But who cares? I mean, I do care, but it's not just a video, but me being me and how good I want to like you know, like make this be to like continue this. I don't care, you know, like fuck it, I'm gonna drop it, you know, whatever. But anyways, yeah, Capitayo. I ranted a little bit. Did I? I don't know. Talked about, you know, the operator picks. I hope the video does make it sound better than me talking. But yeah, like always, have fun, GGs, and finish the VOD. You might learn something.